Greetings, my name is Xavier Gutierrez. I am a respiratory therapy student at Illinois Central College in Peoria, Illinois. I will graduate this May. It is my pleasure to introduce speaker Lori Tinkler. Lori M. Tinkler, MBA, has 30 plus years of experience with the National Board for Respiratory Care. She joined the NBRC in 1991 and was named Chief Executive Officer in January 2018. As CEO, Ms. Tinkler oversees the operation of the NBRC Executive Office, is a primary liaison to the Board of Trustees and its committees, and focuses on the strategy and vision of the organization to help further the respiratory care profession. Ms. Tinkler speaks frequently at state and national respiratory care meetings and interacts with leaders across the profession. Lori is a leading expert in the development and management of certification programs and has a strong background in organizational change and development, as well as testing and measurement. Ms. Tinkler was named one of the top 25 women who mean business in Kansas City by the Kansas City Business Journal, and is active as a mentor for young professionals within the greater Kansas City business community. In addition, she volunteers on several local and national boards and committees, including the Johnson County Community College Foundation, the Advisory Board for the Johnson County Community College Respiratory Care Program, the American College of Chest Physicians Respiratory Care Network Steering Committee, as well as several others. Presenting Excellence Defines Us, an update from the NBRC.
Hello, my name is Lori Tinkler, and I am the CEO of the National Board for Respiratory Care. This presentation will address a variety of activities and initiatives at the NBRC. However, the three main objectives focus on understanding the role and function of the NBRC compared to the other professional organizations, learning about changes that have been made to the credentialing system in 2020, and understanding the credential maintenance program and its importance to you as a credentialed practitioner. Our board is sponsored by four organizations: the American Association for Respiratory Care, the American Thoracic Society, the American Society of Anesthesiologists, and CHEST. These organizations nominate individuals to serve on our Board of Trustees, which is comprised of 15 respiratory therapists and 15 physicians. The board also elects one public member to round out the 31-member governing body. Board members serve as subject matter experts on our examination committees, as well as set policy for the organization. We also supplement examination committees with other subject matter experts who serve in a consultant role and are appointed by the president of the NBRC on an annual basis. If you are interested in getting involved as a volunteer subject matter expert, please let us know. The NBRC is the credentialing body for the respiratory care profession. Our mission is to assess the competency of practitioners at entry into the profession and in defined specialty areas. We work collaboratively with the professional organizations serving the respiratory care profession on various initiatives to promote and move the profession forward. It is important to point out, though, that each organization is independent and not controlled by one of the others. The AARC is the professional membership organization, which serves its members by providing education, advocacy, clinical practice guidelines, and more to students and practitioners, and state societies supplement education and provide a voice for you at the state level. COARC is the accrediting agency which supports the education programs and enforces the standards for education in respiratory care. State licensing boards serve to protect the public, and each state has its own licensing requirements, but all utilize the NBRC's credentials as the basis for awarding a license. Lambda Beta is the honor society for the profession and recognizes scholastic achievement. The NBRC currently has 6 examination programs which lead to the following credentials: Certified Respiratory Therapist, Registered Respiratory Therapist, Certified Pulmonary Function Technologist, Registered Pulmonary Function Technologist, Neonatal Pediatric Respiratory Care Specialist, Sleep Disorder Specialist, and Adult Critical Care Specialist. NBRC examinations are developed according to a process which has been employed by the board for decades and is in accordance with standards set forth by the National Commission for Certifying Agencies, which accredits examination programs like the NBRC's. The NBRC only considers development of a new examination program when requested to do so by one of its sponsoring organizations. The first step is to conduct a viability study to determine the desirability and feasibility of creating such a new program. If it is deemed appropriate, then a personnel survey would be conducted to determine if a sufficient population exists to support a certifying examination and whether a uniform job exists at a national level. Intentional decisions are made by the NBRC board at each step. If the personnel survey is favorable, the next step would be to conduct a job analysis study for the intended program. From this, test specifications would be developed and an examination created. If desired, the board may also elect to conduct a validation study, which correlates test performance with on-the-job performance as rated by an immediate supervisor. All told, the process to create a new examination program can take upwards of 5 years. For ongoing examination development, the NBRC conducts job analysis studies approximately every 5 years to ensure exams reflect current practice. As previously mentioned, NBRC credentials are used as the basis for licensure in the 49 states and the District of Columbia that regulate the profession. Additionally, most, if not all, employers require individuals to have and maintain their NBRC credentials. New in 2020, the NBRC implemented a wait between attempts policy. The policy allows candidates for the therapist multiple choice and clinical simulation examinations 3 attempts without a wait, but for subsequent attempts, the candidate must wait 120 days. For specialty examinations, candidates receive 2 attempts and then a 180-day waiting period is imposed. Based on years of data that we have collected, we know that nearly 90% of candidates pass within their first 3 attempts on the TMC and clinical simulation examinations and within 2 attempts for the specialty programs. The board implemented this policy to be confident that candidates are passing the exams for the right reason and are not being overexposed to examination content. NBRC rolled out its Enhanced Credential Maintenance Program, formerly known as the Continuing Competency Program, in 2020. The primary change to the new Credential Maintenance Program is the inclusion of an assessment component, which focuses on competencies that put the public at risk when performed incorrectly and practice that changes rapidly. Think COVID-19. While not mandatory, participation in the quarterly assessments are highly encouraged and provide an ongoing learning educational experience. There is a lot of discussion amongst certification professionals that relying on CE alone does not necessarily document one's ongoing competency. Our accreditor, the National Commission for Certifying Agencies, changed its standards a few years ago, requiring organizations like the NBRC to develop a more robust credential maintenance program. Assessments provide an opportunity, enhancing knowledge, encourage lifelong learning, and assess competency. Details about the Credential Maintenance Program can be found at nbrc.org, but the main takeaways are: assessments are 10 questions per quarter for the CRT and RRT credentials, 5 questions per quarter for specialty credentials. Assessments are available in a mobile-friendly format, meaning you can take them on a phone, tablet, or PC. You may use resources to enhance your learning, so long as you work independently, don't disclose assessment content, and don't try to print or record the questions. Your performance on the assessments will dictate how much CE you would need to document with the NBRC at the end of your 5-year credential period. If you perform well, you will likely end up in the green zone and not have to document any CE. If you choose not to participate in the assessments, you will be in the red zone and must document 30 hours of CE. And if you fall somewhere in the middle, you will need to document 15 hours of CE. Content for the assessment questions are developed much like a high-stakes credentialing examination. We conducted job analysis studies to determine the content that could be covered and engaged subject matter experts to write the assessment questions. Details about what content is assessed can be found on our website. Assessments can be accessed through the NBRC's practitioner portal. Practitioners must agree to terms and conditions before they can access the assessments. You will be given 5 minutes per question. Questions are 4-option multiple choice format. For each question, the practitioner will also respond to a question about confidence in their response and relevance of the item to their credential. Much like a self-assessment examination, the credential maintenance assessment questions contain feedback about the correct and incorrect response options. After completing an assessment, practitioners can return to the practitioner portal to review past assessments. Each assessment item also contains a reference that practitioners are encouraged to view for more information or remediation about each topic. On a quarterly basis, peer performance data is posted to the practitioner portal, so you can see how you compare with other credentialed practitioners. In summary, assessments focus on respiratory care task and content that changes rapidly and puts patients at risk. Submitting correct responses documents competence, and following up with references about questions that were answered incorrectly should help address the need to strengthen competence in such areas. Despite the pandemic, 2020 was a busy and productive year for the NBRC. We implemented a social purpose campaign, Choose One, Every Breath Counts. Practitioners designate a portion of their $25 annual credential maintenance support fee to be donated to one of 3 patient advocacy organizations selected by the NBRC Board of Trustees. In 2020, we donated $200,000 on behalf of credentialed practitioners across the country to 3 worthy groups: the American Lung Association, the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation, and the Allergy and Asthma Network. For 2021, we have selected the COPD Foundation, the National Sleep Foundation, and the Pulmonary Fibrosis Foundation as beneficiaries of our Choose One campaign. When practitioners pay their $25 annual credential maintenance support fee, you also now receive access to a digital badge to denote your NBRC credentials in your email signature, on social media platforms, etc. We continue to find new and enhanced ways of communicating with our constituencies. In 2020, we introduced a message center inside the practitioner portal where you can find general messages as well as communications specific to you regarding application status, credential maintenance requirements, and more. In January 2021, we soft launched a live chat feature in our practitioner portal. We will be expanding the live chat feature to our website and other portals over the next few months. Within the last few weeks, we have also established an Instagram presence, yet another way to engage with credentialed practitioners, students, educators, and more. The NBRC continues to collaborate with the AARC, COARC, and other professional organizations to discuss the future of respiratory care, including advanced practice respiratory therapist, baccalaureate degree entry, and new credential exam development. Currently, the NBRC is exploring the development of a pulmonary disease educator credentialing program as requested by the AARC. The board also committed resources to recognize and acknowledge respiratory therapists through our More RTs campaign, which launched in April. This PR campaign not only recognized therapists for what they are doing now during the pandemic, but what they will do in the future. Hear voices from the front lines and from our physician colleagues thanking RTs for everything they are doing now and in the future. This is also a great tool that we are encouraging programs and employers to use in their recruiting efforts. Practitioners are encouraged to share their stories by visiting morerts.com, and we are thrilled to announce we will be taking our PR campaign efforts to the next level by collaborating with the AARC and COARC on a multi-year, multi-million-dollar campaign to promote the respiratory care profession. Stay tuned for more details in the coming months. Be sure to follow the NBRC on social media for the latest news and information. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact us by phone, email, snail mail, or visit our website for comprehensive information about all your credentialing needs. Email, snail mail, or visit our website for comprehensive information about all your credentialing needs.